All right, welcome back. We got our weekly stock market update, and what a week! Just straight up, pretty unbelievable 7 days we've had since the great crash of August 2024. So you can see we had a huge wick here, and we're looking at a weekly chart. But the Nasdaq just huge recovery since last Monday, where we had the Bank of Japan crash, and you're seeing that across all indexes. Last week we talked about how we'd probably see a bounce because the end of last week was really strong, and this entire week was just straight up. So I think we've had 7 green days in a row for the Nasdaq. Looks like 7 green days here in a row. Gold hit an all-time high this morning, which is interesting. Good to see. Oil cooling off a little bit. There was a lot of geopolitical rumblings this week, and thankfully, nothing has happened so far this week. We're seeing Bitcoin chopping around, not doing a whole lot. But real quick here, we're almost back to all-time highs, which is just, again, it's pretty unbelievable. Just how quick of a bounce that we've had since last Monday's freak out. And I've never seen something like this where we just see the VIX have a 1 day spike. And I know going into a couple Mondays ago, going into that weekend, things looked pretty shaky. Things were selling off. You had some earnings like Amazon took a hit, Google took a hit. So it's pretty unbelievable how quick volatility has crushed and collapsed. We're almost back on our lows already, which is, I mean, we were just at 65 and now we're already back down to 14. So I haven't seen the speed of volatility crush quite like that. So it's pretty interesting. Nvidia here doing great. It's a bummer here. I'm really bummed out. I'm glad that the market's up. I'm glad my stocks are up, but I was positioning to buy. And we just had one good morning. That was the one opportunity to buy. And then a lot of stocks have run off since then. The SMH, same deal. We had a couple good dollar cost averages, but no real substantial purchases just because we've rocket shipped out of it for now. So we'll see what happens. Do we go back to all-time highs? I'm not sure. Who knows? Tesla making a nice bounce here. I got to clear these out. So next week we do have the Fed meeting in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. So that'll be interesting to see. Historically, that's been a bearish meeting. Now, who knows? You never know what they're going to say. But the setup here is for a little bit of a cool off, most likely. I don't know if we'll see these lows anytime soon again. I would like to, but that's quite the move that we've shot up out of there. It would take quite the event to bring us back down, but we could. I mean, in reality, we're back to where we were at the beginning of the month, which is pretty funny. But we're also not too far away from all-time highs. So it'll be an interesting week. We do have Nvidia earnings coming up. Let's see, the other one I want to talk about was Amazon. Amazon making a nice move here. Let's see, I have a covered call for next week at 180. We'll see if I have to roll that up. But I'm loving it. I'm glad to see Amazon recovering. And then the other one I'm looking at is Google. I think this week the only move I made was I bought some Amazon. That was it. I bought some Amazon earlier in the week. Nothing crazy. And next week probably won't be doing any buying. Probably be selling a little bit of calls next week on some Tesla, some Amazon. The problem with selling calls right now is with the volatility so low, the premiums aren't that juicy. But I will be scoping out a play in Nvidia also. Again, bummed out I didn't buy any shares. Next time Nvidia gets down, I will be buying shares. I won't be selling puts. And if it keeps moving up into earnings, I will be selling bullish puts into earnings because the premiums are so juicy when it comes to Nvidia. And if it falls on earnings, that's okay. I'll be assigned. I don't care. So feel bad that I missed the boat there. But again, it was it's pretty fascinating how you had one great buying opportunity Monday morning, and then other than that, you were having to buy. I like to buy on red days, so I guess these 3 days were good days to buy. But this was the real juicy day, Monday, August 5th, the day that got away. So, anyways, we'll see what next week brings us. But not a whole lot to talk about. We can look at the heat map real quick. But again, like I said, pretty just green. Green everywhere. Nvidia up 18% this week. Microsoft up 3%. Amazon 6%. Tesla 8%. Google, the only red one. Procter and Gamble, Chevron. Oil took a little bit of a dive. Not dive, but took a little bit of a dip this week. Other than that, money went into everything. Everything's great. Love it. But I'm sad because I wanted to buy more stocks, and I don't want to buy them when they're like this. So now I got to wait longer for the market to come down. But maybe this will give you an opportunity to sell some calls, collect some premiums, have more cash to buy when we get down to those levels. But that's being patient. So this week I had to exercise patience, and we'll see what next week brings. Again, big Fed meeting. I don't think there's a whole lot else going on next week. We're pretty much done with earnings besides Nvidia, and Nvidia is in 12 days. So what day is that? So that's going to be like a week from next Tuesday, something like that. Which is good, because if we had Nvidia and the Fed in the same week, my head would explode. So I'm glad those are separate days. So that's all I got. Short update for you guys this week. Enjoy the weekend. Sun is out. Enjoy it while we can. I can feel the season starting to turn. So I'm going to really squeeze out these last few months of summer and enjoy it. So anyways, green week this week. Hope everyone's doing good. That's all I got for you. Have a good weekend. Peace out.